Posted by you/Nectarine Neither 7912. I got pregnant by someone I work with. He's 18 and is about to graduate from high school. He's not my boyfriend or anything, we were never in a relationship like that. I mean, I wish he was, but he doesn't seem interested in that. He's planning to join the military after he graduates. We're friends, he flirts with me, and I lost my first time to him. He didn't force me or anything like that. We've smashed multiple times. I'm 15 weeks pregnant now, and everyone knows. Well, not everyone, because I'm still hiding it from a lot of people. But he knows, and my parents know. I'm embarrassed by it. I feel like an idiot, like a joke, like trash. I just wish I could hide until after the baby's born. I never want to leave my house. My parents are basically forcing me to give the baby up for adoption. I live in a state with heavy termination restrictions, and it's way too late to even get one now. My parents don't believe in termination either. They told me this is my punishment for getting pregnant, that I deserve to have to deal with being pregnant now. They've decided that I'm giving the baby away and have already set up a meeting with an adoption agency. They say they won't let me ruin my life with a baby, and they aren't going to raise my baby either. So, this is the only other option? My mom keeps saying, "You'll thank us later." I didn't get pregnant on purpose. I don't really want to be a mom right now. I turned 17 over the summer and will only be starting my junior year next year. At the same time, going through pregnancy and giving birth just to give my baby away terrifies me. I don't know if I can live with it. It literally makes me feel like I want to throw up or pass out. I feel like I have no choice but to go along with what my parents want. It's not like I could support myself, let alone myself and a baby. I could never just do it on my own. I was too scared to get a termination earlier on before I told my parents I was pregnant. I was so scared that I'd get in trouble, but now I realize that probably would have been the easiest thing for me. If anyone reading this has given a baby up for adoption and survived it, please let me know what it was like. Do you get over it? Do you really end up feeling like it's the best thing for them and you're able to just live with it? Update 1. I'm 20 weeks pregnant now and will turn 17 within the next few weeks. My parents are still forcing me to give my baby up for adoption. We've met with an adoption agency. The adoption counselor knows that I don't want to do adoption. She asked to speak with me privately without my parents present to ask me a series of questions. I was honest and told her I didn't want to give my baby away, but I had no other choice. She seems to feel bad about it and told me that I will ultimately have to sign the papers after the baby is born. My parents cannot sign the papers, but unfortunately, without my parents' help, I have no other options. The adoption counselor talked to us about the option of my parents adopting my baby, which I don't really want either. No worries, my parents aren't interested in raising another baby. My parents want me to look at the potential families. I'm trying to look at them, but it's so weird thinking that I'm looking at parents for my own baby. I know I'm not ready to be a mom, but it's still so weird. None of this feels like it's happening to me. I've talked to the baby's father. He graduated high school and goes off to basic training later this summer. I think he'd be fine with adoption. He said he doesn't really know what other options we have. We could get married since the military would at least help pay for a place to live, and we'd have medical benefits, but I can't get married without parental consent. We don't love each other. What kind of marriage would that be? But it seems like the only realistic solution. I hate the idea of being married at 17 years old to a person who doesn't genuinely want to be married to me. Another option, which still involves marriage, might be for his parents to help out, even take care of the baby, and let me see him or her until I'm 18 and do not need my parents' permission to get married. That doesn't really seem fair to them. He could try to object to an adoption, but it's not guaranteed that his wishes would be respected. Plus, then what happens to the baby? His parents seem like good people. I don't know them well, but I've met them. They're worried about what this will do to his future, but they told my parents they believe it should be our decision and that it's their job as parents to help us. My parents basically said it's their job to protect me and that all of the responsibility will fall on me and it'll be my life that's ruined. Our families met to discuss everything, but it was really just my parents telling them what was going to happen and that they and their son have no say. Update 2. I don't know why I'm suddenly getting a ton of responses to my post from a week ago, but I figured I'd post an update because a few things have changed. I had an ultrasound on Friday and found out I'm having a baby boy. He's basically fully formed and just needs to get bigger now. I saw his head and his nose, and they even got a picture of the bottom of his 2 feet together because he was sort of sideways at first, and we had to get him to move. It looks sort of like footprints. I could clearly see his little hands and everything. So I already said it in my previous post, but people are still sending me information about termination. I know those people are trying to help, and I wish I had maybe reached out here when I first found out I was pregnant since I didn't know I could get pills mailed to my house. I just can't get a termination now. It's a fully formed baby. I even named him. It won't solve my problem at this point because my biggest problem with adoption is how I'm going to live with it mentally for the rest of my life. Now that I know it's a baby moving around in there and stuff, I think I would also not be able to mentally handle a termination now. If it was still just a lump of cells, I'd feel different, but I was too scared to do anything then. I want to keep my baby. I don't want anyone else to have him. This is my baby. I don't think I can survive handing him over to somebody else. It's not fair. I know I made a mistake and I shouldn't have smashed. I shouldn't have sat there doing nothing when I could have gotten a termination and saved myself all this suffering and still had my parents' love and acceptance since they'd never have to know. They called me a SLT. I have barely any privacy anymore. What do they think I'm going to do? After the ultrasound, I sent the baby's father the pics. He wasn't there. My parents don't want him or his family involved now, probably because I told them he offered to marry me and they yelled at me for even considering that. I told him I can't give the baby away and asked if his parents were really serious about helping and if he'd hate me for keeping it. He said he won't hate me. I still think he'll blame me for ruining his life. He already told me he thinks adoption is the best choice. If we got married and he got caught cheating on me, even if I was okay with it, he could get in a lot of trouble. He said, "Why would I cheat on you?" He said he likes me and wouldn't have smashed with me if he didn't like me. He just didn't see the point in us being in a relationship since he was leaving anyway. It was just easier that way. The thing is, I know I'm not the only girl he's been with during that time. I'm not naive enough to think I'm special to him or that he loves me. We both know it's sort of ridiculous to imagine us being married or acting like adults, but I guess that's what you have to do if you have a baby. I can't really imagine being a wife, but maybe it wouldn't be too bad, and I'd get to move away from my parents. He said it's really weird to think about, but I have very few options, and he doesn't know what else he's supposed to offer. He's going to talk to his parents since I'm too shy to. I guess I'm assuming they were just saying it to be nice but are probably happy my parents are making me go through with the adoption. He says his parents aren't like that. I'm really just an inconvenience to everyone, and if I keep my baby, he might end up not liking me too. I don't want to screw up my baby's life. I would do everything I could to be a good mom. I would grow up and learn how to be a wife, mom, and an adult. I can't imagine living after giving my baby to somebody else. Commenter. I feel horrible for you. You're in a terrible position, but your current plan does not make sense and is not healthy for the baby. You want to marry the father who really doesn't want to be a father, just for access to military housing and benefits. Being a military spouse is incredibly difficult. You will have to go where he goes, which means you will not have real support from his parents because they will not pack up and follow you every time he is relocated. So, no real support from your family or his. It will be difficult for you to build your own career because your jobs will have to be accessible to where he is based. He will resent you for pushing for this marriage that you admit is loveless and would be out of convenience. So your plan right now means your baby will grow up with a dad who doesn't want him, a strained and or distant relationship with grandparents, parents with an unhealthy relationship, and financial hardship. You will be unable to leave when things inevitably implode in your marriage because you will not be financially independent, and you will not have any support from your family. My heart breaks for you because you clearly love the little boy already, but it's a really, really bad idea for everyone involved. At this point, it's one of those situations where love means doing what's best for him, and what's best for him is being in a stable environment. Edit to add, because I keep seeing you say you aren't sure how it works in the military, I wanted to share that I do, and I'm not saying all this because I'm just guessing. My dad was in the Army, my long-term ex was in the Army, my best friend is married to a Marine, my other best friend is married to a man in the Army, and my cousin is in the Air Force. Being a military spouse is difficult no matter what branch you are talking about and no matter how promising the benefits sound. Most people in healthy, loving, long-term relationships struggle with the hurdles that come in military relationships. Two very young people who don't love each other, with a baby and financial hardship? I don't see that working. Update 3. I'm 24 weeks pregnant now. I just turned 17. My parents have been trying to force me to give my baby boy up for adoption. I've made several posts about it. They said if I keep the baby, I'll be doing it all on my own. They aren't going to help me in any way. The baby's father's family is willing to help me though. The baby's father isn't my boyfriend. I know that probably sounds bad. We were never officially in a relationship, just friends really. But his parents have been a lot nicer throughout this whole thing. I don't know them well, but I'm getting to know them better now. I'm going to have to since they are willing to help me/us. They aren't really happy that I'm pregnant, but they believe it should have been my decision about what to do about the pregnancy and eventual baby, and that as parents, it's their job to help and support that decision. He's joining the military. His dad is retired military, his brother is in the military, and it's what he's always wanted to do. He just started basic training. So, the plan is that we're going to get married when his family and I go out there for his graduation. Unless he changes his mind between now and then, which he might. I know he might. He hasn't said that, but I'm just scared he will. There wasn't time to do it before he left. Anyway, his tech school is over a year long, so the baby and I could move out there with him if need be. Or I can stay with his family here until he goes to his permanent duty station. That would allow me to graduate high school instead of getting a GED, or at least finish the next year of high school normally. I need notarized approval to take the GED at 17, and my parents refuse, but they've agreed to sign paperwork to allow me to get married. I don't understand them. I don't understand how they'd rather allow me to get married and go live with another family instead of just allowing me and my baby to live at home until I finish school and turned 18. It makes no sense. I'm not even a parent yet, and I wouldn't let my 17-year-old get married. If it was between my 17-year-old getting married and moving across the country, or supporting her decision to keep her baby and assisting her with finding resources to enable her to parent, I know which option I'd choose as the parent, and it wouldn't be marriage. It hurts so bad. They've essentially said if he's going to marry me and his family is going to help us, then I'm not their problem now, so they'll sign off on that. They yelled at me, called me names, and locked me in my room. I could go back to being the daughter they love if I would just go along with their plan, but things will never be the same between us again. His parents were the ones who convinced my parents to approve of the marriage. They met with my parents. Actually, we all met together. They've been the only ones advocating for me at all. They want me to finish school. They're going to help me arrange childcare, and I'm going to move in with them before the baby is born. I will take my newborn baby home to their house. I don't even know these people. It's strange and uncomfortable for me, but I'm at the point where I can't be picky about what help is offered. Luckily, the baby will be covered by his dad's insurance no matter what, and I will be covered by insurance once we're married. I'm not planning to depend on military benefits to address all our needs. It's just one piece of the puzzle. After I graduate, I plan to get certified in something that has good career prospects and pays well. I'm going to be smart about what field I select, and I will use any opportunity to find grants or scholarships to help pay. My parents want me to go straight to a traditional 4-year college. I'm in honors classes now. I get really good grades. I scored very high on the PSAT. I should go to college, but I'm not really interested in any of the career fields that make college worth it financially, in my eyes. Unless I got a huge scholarship, I'd be paying mostly with student loans. So I'm looking into other avenues where I can enter my chosen career field much sooner and start making good money quicker without incurring so much debt. I'm really scared about everything. I've never had to do any adult things. I've blown up my whole life by getting pregnant and not going along with my parents' plan. I don't even feel like I have parents now. I never thought my family would end up this way. I sort of just want to go along with their plan because in many ways, it'd be a lot easier. I could go back to my life and still be accepted by my parents and have their love and support again, but my life will never be the same. I think I'd regret taking the easy way out. I don't think adoption would be easy for me at all, but as far as day-to-day life struggles, it'd probably be easier. I think I'd grow up and hate myself for doing it, and I'd never be able to undo it. What I'm doing now is the only option that I don't think I'll spend my whole life regretting. At least it won't make me feel like a coward. I still feel sick to my stomach when I think about everything that's happening. That I'm going to live with virtual strangers. That I'm going to get married. That I will eventually move across the country and be a mom and a wife before I can even legally drink. Although moving across the country doesn't sound too bad right now. I just don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm probably taking on too much, but it still makes me happier than when I thought I'd have no choice but to sign adoption papers.